Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Saint Gaming, and welcome back to another video not on Jump Force, but on J-Star's Victory versus the game that came before Jump Force. Now, as much as I am a fan of Jump Force, and I do think it's a great game in many aspects, I think it lacks a lot in many aspects. And I personally believe J-Star's Victory versus was a way better game. And I will explain my reasonings. Now, I will break this video up into two parts. In the first video, I will explain the pros and cons of J-Stars, and then in the next video, I will explain the pros and cons of Jump Force. And then I'll kind of explain what they both did right in the second video. Now, first, let's talk about the good points of J-Stars. The first good thing J-Stars did better than Jump Force is the big thing everybody talks about when they compare the two games, and that is that J-Stars feels more like an anniversary game, like these games are supposed to be. Let's compare the number of series J-Stars has to Jump Force. J-Stars has 32 different series, all the way back from the 1970s with Kochikame, all the way up to the newest series at the time being Assassination Classroom and The Disastrous Life of Tsukiji, or Sake-K. It was a very rich and vast variety of shonen Jump characters throughout the years, where Jump Force only had 16 characters, most of them being from either the 80s or the 90s, with very few 2000 characters and a few new series from the 2010s. The next big point I wanted to bring up was the J-Stars had fun character animations. All of the characters would run and move like they would in the respective series, with Joseph having his classic run you would see in memes today of Joseph that he had in the anime. Or Ryotsu and Gintoki from Kochikame and Gintama would pull out their bikes and moped from their series for their fast run. Jump Force had unique runs, but nothing on the level of J-Stars. Dio would run like he would, and the Naruto characters would run like they would, but their fast runs or their dashes were all kind of the same. There was nothing really fun about them, like the level J-Stars had. And in my personal opinion, J-Stars had a better art style. When I look at J-Stars, it looks like an anime game. Now, yes, Jump Force was supposed to be the mix of real world and anime, but it just didn't have that kind of aesthetic that J-Stars had, where it kind of looked a bit like a manga and an anime. But I'll get more into that in the Jump Force video. J-Stars had more and better game modes. Now, compared to Jump Force, J-Stars was very friendly to co-op players and single players. The online mode kind of took a second seating. Now, yes, we do like playing from our friends across the world, and if you can't get together, say because of a coronavirus, you would play with them at home, in each other's homes, not together, for co-op. But J-Stars was also very friendly for people who weren't really into online play. We had a story mode with 4 different stories and side quests to do. You also had a classic single-player offline battle with a 2v2 co-op mode. And you also had an online mode. And for the West, we got an arcade mode when it came out to be J-Stars Victory vs. Plus in America and other regions. We also had a Victory Road mode, which was a fun, nice detail. I remember putting many hours into Victory Road, taking all the different paths. Plus, you had a shop where you can buy power-up cards and other things for your characters. And sometimes the load screen would even be a Shonen Jump test to test your knowledge of series in the game. It would give you nice questions to see if you remember little details you might have never seen before from these series. That was all fun and great. Jump Force didn't have that many game modes. In fact, Jump Force feeds to more online players, which isn't a bad thing, but not everybody likes playing online. J-Stars also showed love to non-fighting series. The support character system was made up for a lot of these non-fighting series, and a lot of them made sense, as some of these characters you really can't make a move list with the type of games these jump games are. We would get the cast of Sket Dance and Hinata from Haikyuu, or Kuroko from Kuroko's Basketball. Jump Force had some non-fighting series, with Light and Ryuk being the only characters actually, which was cool, but that was it for what Jump Force had. We didn't have many variety of non-fighting series, which they did say before the game came out that was going to be the case, but you gotta remember, Jump isn't only made up of just plain fighting series. The 80s, 90s, 70s, so on, even today, we have a lot of non-fighting series. And they should be represented well within these types of games as well, if these are anniversary titles. Now, J-Stars also had a ton of references to the said series that were in the game. With the load screen tests, and the stages would have all kinds of unique references. Some coming to mind was on the Namek stage, Giru's house would be seen, and even the Namekian Dragon Balls were in the water. Or in Athena's temple stage, you could see the clock that showed the hours before Sayori's death, and even the Athena armor was there. Even within dialogue between characters, and even the story mode where you visit landmarks from the series that are in the game. Nothing too big, but were nice touches and really represented a lot of these series very well. My last good point is the game had interactions for almost every character in the game, and they were all very unique. Jump Force has a few as well, but not that as many as J-Stars, and not as unique in variety as J-Stars. The DLC characters in J-Stars don't even have interactions with other characters, they just have lines that they say to everybody. But as much as I just praised the game, it does have some bad points and cons as well. So does every game, but these games, people pay attention to them a lot, especially nowadays. Everyone looks for the cons. They don't really look for the fun aspects of the game, and are so quick to call them trash. Which, everyone has their own opinion, but I think the pros should always be counted as well. My biggest problem with the game itself is it has slow gameplay. J-Stars is fun for the first maybe couple hours or days, but the slow gameplay and the lacking gameplay elements don't really help it as well. The game also lacks battle damage. It's just a detail, but a detail that I see that not having is a con. Battle damage can be fun if done right, and J-Stars doesn't have it. The story mode also didn't feature much. Now, I did say it was a good aspect of the game, but there were 4 story modes. They weren't really different from each other. There was maybe 2 different story modes out of the 4, with it all basically being the same story in the end, just with different interactions depending on which story mode you chose. All the side quests are basically the same, and there just isn't really a lot to offer. Each character does have their own goal, with Ichigo wanting to protect his friends, Naruto looking to become the Hokage, Luffy being the Pirate King, and Toriko trying to complete his full course menu, which is fine, those are their goals, but the story mode just didn't offer a lot. Another big problem is not having characters playable, or not having all characters playable, as I said before. Now, I said the good thing for the non-fighting series was they were support characters, but characters like Rukia, Hisoka, Kumagawa, Kagura, and even goddamn Alan Walker were not playable, and that was hugely disappointing. Something Jump Force sort of fixed with that aspect, with Rukia and Hisoka. Not having them playable was really disappointing, and the final con in my little discussion is... And the final con is the missing series. Now, I want to say this is more of a nitpick, as I know we'll never get a completely awesome Jump roster unless you play Jump Ultimate or whatever that phone game is called. But It was said that the director said he wanted to add more characters, and there was even planned DLC found in the data files, or at least cut characters. I'm not exactly sure what they were. And I get it, not being able to get the licensing. Licensing is a hell, especially if you're trying to get the game to all across the world. But some of the major series that were being missed from this game were series like Kinnikuman, City Hunter, Dragon Quest Dai, Black Cat, Buso Renkin, Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan, Space Cobra, Hoshin Ingi, Bastard, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Which, again, Jump Force did add some of these series, and I also understand you can't have every series you want in the game. Licensing is a big problem. That's more of a nitpick and a fan wish, just to have a bunch of series in the game. Now, next time, like I said, I'll be doing a pros and cons of Jump Force, so stick around and tell me what game you thought was better or did things better. What game do you like more? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, like and subscribe, and have a nice, safe day.